Since the very beginning, it's been a tradition that Robins look like little bitty Bruce Waynes. Until now? Yes, Ryan Potter is trying to pull a Donald Glover. And why not? Because Donald Glover might not have hit the bullseye, actually becoming Spider-Man, but he did land on target, aka a role in the upcoming, much anticipated Spider-Man Homecoming. And hey, for all we know, it could be a doozy of a role. Or it could just be lip service to Donald Glover and all that he stands for when it comes to Spider-Man and the conversation of diversity. We shall see. But speaking of diversity, while we've already had quite a debate about, changing the ethnicity of characters to black, now there's been a larger discussion about Asians on camera, particularly not only with the George Takei calling out Chris Rock for his joke at the Oscars last year, but also Constance Wu taking the Great Wall to task for what she says is whitewashing. I've disagreed with that, but many of you do agree with Constance Wu. So this is a good time to try and advocate for representation of Asians, not only in movies, but in the most popular movies that are out today, comic book movies. Now, who's Ryan Potter? Ryan Potter is the voice of Hiro Hamada in Disney's Big Hero 6, and he's also been known as a super ninja, that's the way you spell it, on Nickelodeon. So he has a martial arts background, and he feels, hey, with my martial arts background and my age, the only thing that's keeping me from being able to audition for Tim Drake, his Robin of choice, a clever choice we'll discuss further momentarily, he's saying the only thing keeping me from being able to audition for that role is my ethnicity. And just like Donald Glover said, that's wrong. And to further prove his point, Ryan Potter has released a video of himself showing off his super sweet martial arts moves. And they are super sweet. But I don't know if his reasoning totally is, at least in this instance. Now, if I were advising Ryan Potter, I would say, why are you going after a Warner Brothers character? Go after a Marvel character because you already have a relationship with Disney. It's much easier to embarrass them into using you because they already know you from Big Hero 6. You're in their Rolodex. Whereas Warner Brothers can believably say, Ryan who? And kind of diss him at the same time they don't cast him. Let's not forget that Justin Bieber also tried to use the internet to say that he was going to be Robin in Batman v Superman. So, easier hinted than actually accomplished. But, they could potentially have an Asian Robin. There's been a female Robin. There's a black kind of Robin right now in the comics. And there has been an Asian Batgirl. So why not an Asian Robin? Heck, DC fans not only had no problem with, but some downright love Black Deadshot. And word is that Zatanna is not going to be white for much longer. So why couldn't Robin follow suit? I think that if you're going to change the ethnicity of a Robin, Tim Drake is the best choice. However, I think that one fatal error that Ryan Potter made is that he called Nightwing NightHAWK in an interview. Yes, he did. It was so bad when that was first called to light. That was a second-party website referenced an interview he did for something called like 411 Media or something back when Big Hero 6 came out, and he's been advocating being Robin ever since then. And he called Nightwing NightHAWK. Now, there is a DC character called NightHAWK, but he's a cowboy, and I don't think that's who Ryan Potter was talking about. So that's a really bad mistake, and it shows that I think that Ryan Potter is more interested in being in a superhero movie today and is looking for an age-appropriate character than someone who actually likes the character of Robin and really badly wants to bring him to life. Although, I don't know how big a Spider-Man fan Donald Glover is. That was just a big role that was up for grabs, and he was in the correct age range and certainly was as big a star as Andrew Garfield, so it really irked him that he couldn't audition for the role. But calling Nightwing NightHAWK, some of you, I would think, would pull your support after that move. But anyway, he does have amazing martial arts capabilities, and Tom Holland's ability to do acrobatics, I think, really certainly helped tip the spider scales in his favor when they were deciding who to cast as the new Peter Parker. Also with Tim Drake, I think that Ryan Potter chose him because he probably would be the next Robin to show up in the DCEU. They've already shown Jason Todd, although they could make changes. They could make Dick Grayson and Jason Todd the same, although there's a lot of discussion in the rumor mill for the DCEU that Nightwing is a coming to the DCEU. So that would mean that Dick Grayson already had his run as Robin. We are dealing with an older Bruce Wayne. Jason Todd has already been killed by Joker and Harley, who is an admitted accomplice to that murder. So Tim Drake is third up at bat. I couldn't help myself. So that's why I think another reason that Ryan Potter has said, hey, why can't I play that character? Also, in my notes here, though, I would say that Ryan Potter should take note, though, that the thing that Tim Drake is the most famous for when it comes to being Robin is not his martial arts skills, his fighting skills, but his detective skills. So even though that's the next Robin that they would potentially adapt, it's probably the worst choice for Ryan Potter, particularly if he's putting his martial arts skills forward, is the best reason to cast him. Also, though, if they wanted to do an Asian character and they already have Deathstroke coming in, it would be a lot more organic to swap Deathstroke in for Kane and do the whole Deathstroke, make the daughter half Asian, take Rose away and create not Cassandra Cain, but Cassandra Wilson, and do the very compelling Batgirl story. Great story. So again, you could just take Cassandra Cain and make her Cassandra Wilson, and it would fit right into what they're doing in the DCEU currently. Also, though, a lot of people want to see Damian Wayne and skip right over Tim Drake. He has his fans, Tim Drake, but I don't think they're as strong as the fans of the current Robin, Damian Wayne, who's a little spoiled rich prince, the biological son of Bruce Wayne, and Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Now, if you're going to depict the al Ghuls correctly, they are of Middle Eastern descent, which would make Damian Wayne half Middle Eastern. So you could have some diversity right there if you were to go the Damian Wayne route. So if Ryan Potter's trying, basically what I'm saying here is if Ryan Potter is trying to shame the DCEU into creating a diverse sidekick for Ben Affleck's Batman, they don't have to go with Ryan Potter as Robin. They have lots of other options open to them. So since Ryan Potter, I don't think would make a particularly good Tim Drake per se, and I don't think he's particularly, in love with these characters. He just wants to be in a comic book movie today, and needs the character that is the age appropriate for him. I've got some examples that I think are a little bit better. If I were him, I would campaign for playing a younger Shang-Chi, over at Disney's Marvel. Again, he's got that in already. Or Amadeus Cho, duh, that's so obvious. And of course, they're trying to build out the Hulk a little bit there. Why not? And Amadeus Cho, of course, is the current Hulk in Marvel Comics. So I think that would be a great choice. Also, if he wants to be in the DCEU, how about Beast Boy? He does a lot of flipping around. I'm sure they could incorporate some martial arts moves into that. And I've seen some of Ryan Potter's YouTube work. He can be pretty funny. I think he would be a good choice. Although Cyborg is supposed to trade comedy barbs with another Titan, although it looks like that might be Ezra Miller's Flash now. We'll see what happens in the DCEU. So I'm curious, what do you think of these calls for diversity in comic book movies? What do you think of them coming from people who aren't necessarily fans, but are coming at this from an actor's perspective and saying, hey, why can't I audition for the role? Not, I love this character and want to be them. I mean, again, Ryan Potter doesn't even know the correct name. He called Nightwing NightHAWK. And then if you were advising Ryan Potter, do you think he really would genuinely make a good Tim Drake? Or do you think maybe some of my suggestions are a little bit better? So write your thoughts down below. And hey, Donald Glover did get into a Spider-Man movie, so let's see what happens to Ryan Potter. Again, though, I think he could do a better job embarrassing Disney into casting him than he could the DCEU. All right, write your thoughts. I also think the DCEU is, well, I don't know. They're a little fan-friendly in casting with Deathstroke, although Zack Snyder is a fan of Joe Manganiello himself. But I think that the DCEU has a knee-jerk reaction at this point to anyone trying to tell them what to do. So I think that that's another reason that Ryan Potter might find himself not able to make any headway here. All right, I had fun discussing this with you. Thanks to everyone who sent me his audition video. There's a link to it down below if you'd like to check it out yourself. And you can write your thoughts on this down below and check out some more DC videos right now.